Hello my friends, once again welcome to IGCSE Sudarshan Studio. We already finished paper 1 stage 9 science paper of Science Checkpoint. Today we are going to deal with paper 2 stage 9 2025, one of a sample paper of Science Checkpoint. 0893 is the code here. So let me write the code first. The code for this paper is 0893, and this is what our paper code is. And hello and welcome, my name is Sudarshan and you are on IGCSE Sudarshan Studio. This is stage 9 grade 8 paper and we are solving it on 20th April 2025. Paper 2. Paper 1 was having 15 questions. We have made 4 parts of it. You can check out on my YouTube channel here. Also, I'll send you the link in the description box. I'll mention it in the description box too. Now, let's check for paper 2 here. 45 minutes is the duration time. No additional materials are needed, neither they will be provided to you. Answer all questions. Write your answer to each question in the space provided here, and you should show all your working on the question paper, and that's what it is, right? Information that you should know that the total marks for this paper is 50 and the number of marks for each question or part of question is shown in the bracket. Please remember once again, whenever there is a graph or a diagram based question, use always a pencil because you can erase it and chill out. If you have done any mistake, you can actually rectify it. With a pen it is not possible because you cannot use whitener. So let's move to our first question. First question here belongs to our photosynthesis topic here, the first chapter itself. The diagram shows the pathway of water through a plant. Here you have a leaf, a root system, a shoot system, and then we have a leaf. Okay. What else? Soil, root. Name the type of the cell where water enters in the plant. They are asking you cell. They are not asking you about the root or the root hair. If you mention root hair, it's invalid. You need to mention root hair cell. This is very important part. Mentioning only root hair gives you the tissue formation, tissue organization, and it is not a valid answer. Moving to the next question. Water from the soil enters a plant. Write down the process. When they are mentioning the process name, you need to mention here absorption. You can also write osmosis, or you can also mention diffusion. This is only to give an idea that water moves inside the root hair cell by the process of osmosis, but the name of the process is absorption. Writing anything else like transpiration or up movement of the water is an invalid one again. So try to avoid such kind of words. Use some scientific words when you are answering science paper. Water passes from the root through the stem to the leaf. Name the vessel in the stem that the water passes through. And we know that water is only transported by xylem vessel. Any guess what does the phloem does? If you know the answer, please put it in the comment box. What is the function of phloem? Okay, so let's move to the next one. Water moves from the leaf to the air. Write down the name of the process. So here, from leaf into the air, that means it is evaporating, like it is diffused into the atmosphere. So what is that process known as? Transpirational pull. Transpiration pull is a water upliftment, water taking into the stem. But here they are asking about leaf to the air, and it is about transpiration. You may make mistake in transpirational pull, you may make mistake in absorption, but please check out the keywords definition. What do you mean by transpiration, absorption, or transpiration pull? Transpiration pull is water molecules are attached with each other. With this attraction, the water is moved into the xylem vessel. That is transpiration pull. Absorption is something which is intake, and transpiration is something water changes into the water vapor and it is diffused out into the atmosphere. Fine, I hope this is clear here. The process they have asked, and the total marks, when we solve all 4-1, we get 4 marks in the end. I hope this is clear. Any doubts, please ask. Please put it in the comment box and I'll help you out. Okay, so let's move to the next question here. Complete the sentence about chemical bonding. Now, the type of bond made when a pair of electrons is shared by 2 atoms is called. When there is a sharing of electrons between 2 atoms, it's a covalent. Whenever there is a sharing. When there is no sharing, means one is benefited, other is affected, what it will be? Which type of bond when there is no sharing takes place? Now, that's up to you. Put it in the comment box. Thus, when there is no sharing takes place, which type of bond is formed? Moving to the next here, part 2. When an atom dash an electron, a positive ion is made. So whenever an atom loses an electron, a positive ion is made. NaCl, okay, or Na plus loses electrons. Like this, you can remember an atom loses an electron, a positive ion is made. So it's one of the examples. Sodium ion is made by losing one of its electron. Okay, fine. What is an ionic bond? Most of you will make a mistake. Sharing of electron or give and take of an electron is used as a word. Ionic bond is not such kind of bond. It is a bond between a positively charged, bond between positive charged ion. This is very important. It's between a positive charged ion and a negative charged ion. Fine. So a bond between or attraction between, you can write here. A bond word can be replaced by attraction. So attraction between a positive charged ion and a negative charged ion. But please remember, ionic bond can also be explained by electrostatic attraction between the ions. Electrostatic attraction between ions. Okay, so this is also valid. Either you write attraction between positive and negative ion or electrostatic attraction between the ions. Let's move to the third question, and the previous one, the second one, gives you 3 marks. The third question, look at the diagram of a sound wave. A. Draw on the grid a sound wave B that completely cancel out sound wave A. So when they are mentioning you that you need to draw a wave here which can cancel the sound wave of A. So whenever it is mentioned in such a way, please remember to use a pencil. Okay, before I do it, can you do by yourself here? I'll give you 1 minute time to do this. Fine. So I think if you have done, if there's a mistake, learn from your mistake, check out the topic once again, and let's do this here. So first thing is you need to draw a image over this. Okay, so if this is starting point, let's make our end point here. Okay, and that's how it is. Okay, this is something that you can draw like this. It should be in this way. So my image, once you have done with this kind of pattern, okay, try to make it here the same way. 1, 2, and then you go here 3. Fine. So this is how the image looks like. Note that the amplitude and frequency should be the same here. Okay, the examiner will check it by his eyes, the peak, the trough, the crest and all. So based on that, his experience and all, you get a 1 mark question. So sound cancellation is in this format. Fine. This is what your answer is. Use only pencil, guys. Please remember that, because mistakes are always good for learning, but not in the examination hall. Okay, let's move to the next one. And that gives you how many marks? 1 marks for third question. Oh, that's pretty low. Now, Aiko finds a drawing of a desert. Fine. She draws a diagram to show the different cause of desertification. Desertification means something which is a land which was having a water, but because of deforestation and many other reasons, the land is now in a desert form. That means there is no water, less amount of water or population or animal habitat there. Now what happens here? Grassland with too many animals, okay, land over used for crops, tree cut down by humans, less rain, soil becomes bare, soil erodes by the wind, that is soil erosion by the wind and air water, and this is the reason for desertification. Fine. So these were some of the reasons here. Many grassland with too many animals due to their feeding to them, land overused for the crops, cut down of trees we call as like deforestation and all, less rain, and then it leads to the desertification. So that was a complete flowchart. Next, moving to this one here, climate change causes desertification. Circle the cause of desertification due to climate change. Grassland with too many animals. They are mentioning here climate. Basically all these are valid answers for your desertification, but when they are mentioning you about the climate change, we need to check only with the climate, and climate related answer is this: circle the crow. You, if you do in this way, okay, or if you put a tick mark, both will be invalid, guys. Invalid. So always circle the correct answer. So here climate change, when they have mentioned, please circle the correct answer. If you do in this kind, it is wrong. If you mention Okay, somewhere else or outside it is there, something like that. This is also wrong. This is the correct answer. Okay, climate change. Suggest 2 future impacts of desertification. In future, if desertification continues, what is the impact? Now, grassland with too many animals, land over used for crops, trees are cut down. So these are some of your hints from where you can actually mention impact of desertification. We can mention here less food available because the plants has been cut down, so you can mention less food available, and it is a desertification. That means the place is now turned into a desert. That means there will be less water to drink, right? Loss of plant habitat, loss of animal species, migration of people can also be considered. Even increase in the disease such as waterborne disease is also considered. So I'll write few more answers here. Increase in diseases such as cholera. You can write this part. It's an or optional here. You can write lack of hygiene. You can mention here migration. Of course, when it's a desert, very few people will live there, right? Migration of people. All are valid answers, but you need to write only 2. It carries 2 marks, so please mention 2 points. Less food available, less water to drink, or any of this or option that we have given to you. Fine, moving to the next one, 5th part. Complete these sentences about how plant make glucose. Plant use, again from first topic, that is from photosynthesis. Plant use energy from light, okay, and dash and dash to make a glucose. And so something they are asking you, a photosynthesis reaction in a word form. So first let's put a photosynthesis reaction. CO2 plus H2O in presence of our sunlight, okay, gives C6H12O6 plus oxygen, right? This is what the glucose is. Plant use energy from light, okay, so this is done. They also use carbon dioxide, correct, CO2. So complete the sentence. You can write it in a, it's only to be mentioned in chemical form, so I'm just writing here, it is carbon dioxide. Then we mention here water to make glucose, and glucose is already there, and it's oxygen. Okay, so this has got 3 marks. Plant make glucose using the process of, as we have mentioned, this is a photo. Easy, right? When you know the reaction here, this process takes place in structure in some leaf cells, and these structures are called chloroplast. Chloroplast is the structure. Chlorophyll is a pigment. Don't confuse this. This is a structure, okay? This is something in this kind of thing, and inside this chloroplast, you know what is there? A pigment, and that is called as chlorophyll, okay? That's how it is. For example, I'll just give one more example. Consider this as a question paper. This question paper itself is called as a chloroplast. Imagine this question paper is acting as a chloroplast. Fine. On this page, what are these? These are some of the letters, right? These letters are nothing but chlorophyll. So you can imagine in this way a structure inside which color pigments are there. So we have completed 5 questions. We will make this video in 3 sections. That means first video 5 questions, second video will have 5 questions here. Part 1 will have 5 questions we're going to solve. Part 2 we will solve next 5 questions, and part 3 we will solve 6 questions. Okay, and that will make our all 16 questions together. Why are we not solving at a time? Because I don't want you to have more time on screen. So don't be on screen for a long duration of time, that can affect your eyes. So I'm cut down this entire question paper in 3 segments. 5 questions, and the last part will have 6 questions. Okay, thank you for joining, thank you for listening to this entire video here. Any suggestions, please put it into the comment box. Even I need to learn from my mistakes, right? That's what an educator does, learning from everyone. Thank you guys for listening to IGCSE Sudarshan Studio. Like and subscribe and share with your friends. See you in the next video.